It is December. Christmas time, which is my favorite time. So I'm gonna do a holiday look for all those parties and holiday events that are not happening this year. I usually would wear this with a nude lip, but I was feeling bold. Maybe it's all the wine. So yeah, keep watching, hope you like. All right, we're gonna start with the brows. Anastasia Brow is in medium brown, and we're just gonna go ahead and fill them in and make a frame for all of our eyeshadow. Oh, I have a pimple in my eyebrow. Feels great. Now using our MAC paint pot, I'm gonna prime my eyes. Now using a flat eyeshadow brush, we're gonna highlight under our brows and in the inner corner with a white shade. I'm using the KKW Morphe Palette, and I'm just gonna go in with this matte white. And I'm just gonna slop it all under the brow and all over the inner corner just to brighten everything up. Now sticking with this KKW and Morphe palette, we're gonna go in with this transition shade here. It's just a simple brown, kind of orangey. And using a big fluffy brush, I'm gonna throw this all over the place. Now I'm gonna do blue, I think, which is terrifying. I rarely use blue, but when I use it, I really like it. It's just a little terrifying to begin. But here we go. Same palette, this really pretty blue shade. I'm gonna start with a long fluffy brush, and we're just gonna gradually start building this up in the crease. And I go pretty slowly because the color is aggressive. And I'm just going back and forth. Jesus. And just continuously blending it out up pretty high. I'm actually gonna go pretty much up just about to the white. It looks so terrible until like the very end. Now I'm gonna go back in with that initial brown shade on a fluffy brush, and I'm going where the two colors kind of meet, and I'm blending that all out. It's a very slow, long process of just adding colors and blending, adding more color and blending. And I'm going back in with the blue, and I'm just gonna concentrate more in the crease here, and I'm not gonna bring it up quite as high. Now I'm gonna go in with a flat shadow brush, and I'm still using the same blue. I'm just packing it all over the lid now so that the color is a lot more intense. I'm going all the way up to the crease and then turning the brush sideways and going back and forth to diffuse it. And I'm just continuously building up the color and slowly diffusing it up a little higher up into the crease each time. Now I'm gonna start building it up on the outer corner. So I'm bringing it up higher and higher. Looks fucking outrageous right now. Now I'm gonna go in with a clean, fluffy brush, and I'm gonna blend it out. Just softening the edges. And again, back in with that brown color. Now I'm gonna go in with this Morphe palette. It's a 35V. I've never used it, I just found it in my drawer. It's very pretty. They have all these blues. So I'm gonna go in with this top. It's a little darker than the one in the makeup, in the Kim and Mario palette, so it's a little more neat. I'm gonna go in with the flat brush here, and I'm going to put this down close to the lash line and then out into the outer corner, just to darken it and give it a little variance of color. Now I'm gonna go back to the KKW palette and use this shimmery white shadow mixed with the matte. And I'm gonna re-highlight because we kind of lost it. Every time I do this, I'm like, oh, this looks like garbage. I'm kind of feeling like that right now, but it usually comes together. Now I'm gonna go in with some black coal liner. This is the Ardency In. It's just a dark black coal. And we're just gonna line the water, or we're just gonna line the lash line. I think I want gold in this. I'm going back to the KKW palette. I'm using the gold on my finger. And I'm just gonna lightly dust that under the eyebrow. I wanna highlight with that instead of the white. It's just so much blending. It's just constantly softening, adding a little more brown, adding a little more blue until you get the balance of colors that you like. But you really just need all the edges really soft, otherwise you look like a fucking clown. Okay, now I'm going back to that Morphe palette and I just want a matte black shade here, and we're gonna use a little angled brush and we're gonna just smudge out the eyeliner so that it's soft and smoky. I'm bringing it out a little past the edge of my eye, but I'm not doing a full wing. Okay, now we're gonna throw on mascara. I'm gonna curl and use the Maybelline Falsies Lash mascara. And I'm gonna go really heavy on the mascara, but obviously we're gonna put on some fake lashes too. And makeup like this calls for a ridiculous big lash. So we're going in with the Lilly lashes, and this is in Goddess. Okay, I got the lashes on. It's already looking better. Right, I'm gonna darken the blue in the crease. So I'm going back in with the flat shadow brush and this disastrous blue color. And I'm just gonna pack it on the outer corner. All right, now we'll just clean this up and move on to our face. It should look way better once the foundation's on. I always think this every time though. I'm like, oh dear God, what a disaster. Okay, now we're going to put on eye cream and moisturizer. And then I'm gonna prime with the MAC Strobe cream just to give it a little bit of a glow. Now I'm gonna color correct with the Naked Skin in Peach for all my dark spots on my forehead. And then I'm gonna deal with the redness with this Makeup Forever Step 1 primer in green because I can't find my other green primer. And then we'll just blend all that in. And we're gonna put on some foundation. I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. I have just a tiny bit left. So I used the 4.5. We're gonna scrape the insides of this. Not gonna waste a drop. And I'm gonna put extra over the pimples. Now I'll go in with the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer and Creme Brulee and do the inner corner. Oh no, I'm running out. Outer, my little pimple. Now using my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Light Plus, I'm gonna set under my eyes and around my nose area. Now with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, I'm gonna set the rest of my face, just dusting it around nice and lightly. I actually shake a bunch off too. Now for contouring, I'm gonna go back into this old Shade and Light palette. Kat Von D, I haven't used this in ages, but I want kind of a darker contour. So I'm gonna use this one mixed with the, probably the first one. So these two mixed together. Now I'll contour my nose with a fluffy eyeshadow brush. And I'm gonna blend that out with my powder brush, just so it's not too harsh. Now just to sharpen this up, I'm gonna use my damp beauty blender and go in with a little more of the Laura Mercier powder and dab it right at the back of the contour, right under my, right by my ear, under the edge of the line. And I'm just gonna dab that in just to sharpen it and kind of brighten that back corner. Okay. For blush, we're gonna use the KKW Beauty. You can't see that. It's called Luxe. It's like a kind of orangey bronzy color. I always feel so much better once the blush is on. Now we're going to smoke out the lash line at the bottom. So we're gonna go back to the blue. And this is messy, so we have to be careful. So I'm gonna use a flat definer brush and I'm gonna stamp it on my lash line. Now I'm gonna go in with a pencil brush and that transition shade we used, just the brown, and I'm gonna blend it out with a little bit of that right on the edge of the blue. I'm just gonna keep going back and forth between the blue and the brown until it is as dark as I want and buffed out and soft as I want. So it's just a really gradual, slow process, just continuously adding more color and constant blending. Going a little more blue on the outer corner. Just keep messing with it till it's as dark or as light as you want it to be. Now we'll line our waterline with that black kohl pencil on the top and the bottom. And we'll coat the bottom lashes with some mascara. Ugh. I made a mess, but let it dry before you wipe it off. I always make a mess. For highlighter, I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier Indiscretion powder. It's a really pretty gold highlight. I'm gonna use a fan brush. Put that all over the place, right at the top of the cheekbone, temple, and forehead, chin, lip, I'm also gonna put some of that highlight in my inner corners. I'm just gonna dab it right in the inner corner. Now we'll set our brows with our Anastasia Brow Gel. I'm cleaning up all that mascara because I'm like a 6-year-old when I put on mascara still. Now for lipstick, you could do like a pretty nude. I'm gonna go big though, and I'm gonna go in with like a wine red color because it's Christmas. I'm gonna go in with MAC Half Red. It's like a maroon kind of red shade, and just line the lips. I'm gonna slightly color it in on the edges or on the corners. Now I'm gonna go in with Lorac Pro, and this is in the shade Merlot. I'm gonna go in with a little gloss. I'm gonna use the Buxom White Russian, which is just one of the best nudes ever, and one of my favorite drinks. I'm actually gonna use my fingers so I don't make the brush a complete mess. Okay, now we'll set it all with the Skindinavia setting spray. All right, guys, that's the look. It's a hot mess almost the whole way through. Somehow it works out and comes together. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day. Hope you like. Nailed it. Baby! Oh, baby. She hated that. I feel like I look prettier in this take. Ew. Sweet girl. This is so soft and cozy. Like, there I look like shit, here I look great. It's a mess. Who's gonna clean this up? You're disgusting. That's enough of me.